Of the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions, the Senate has suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan for 6 months. Presenting the committee's findings, Chairman Senator Neda Imaswan stated that Akpoti-Uduaghan was found guilty of all allegations due to a failure to comply with the committee's proceedings. Beyond suspension, the other recommendations include the withdrawal of her salary and security details, as well as an official apology to the Senate for what has been described as actions disrespectful to the institution. Biko, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan suspended for 6 months. Talk to me. Did this come to you as a surprise or was it expected?
Why will it come to me as a surprise? Why? 6
months.
In the newsroom, I said it openly that whatever she did yesterday, last night, I spoke to everybody. I said whatever she did, she will not escape suspension. No matter what. You know, one thing made me happy today. When she was not allowed to, when that petition was thrown away because of procedural errors.
Okay.
Natasha clearly does not read the rule book of the Senate. She's not interested in reading. The rule book says you cannot, as a senator, sign a petition by yourself.
Okay.
And I said it here. I said, even her husband could have signed it. Anybody could have signed it. I'm happy that the Senate redeemed itself today by receiving that petition after Natasha got someone else to sign. I mean, this is what you could have done from the beginning.
Okay.
The Senate will not change its rules because of an individual. If judges bend the Constitution because of individuals, we will say they are useless people. So we cannot, they can't change their rules or bend their rules for an individual. Once you do that, you will never stop. Because somebody else will cite the fact that, oh, the other day when Natasha complained, you allowed it to go in. So they waited for her to do the right thing, and they received that petition.
Well, be killed.
Now, just hold on a bit. Now, she didn't face that panel. She didn't face the panel. I've seen bigger people in the Senate, people who are ranking senators. She is not even a ranking senator. She's a first-timer in the Senate.
Okay.
Ranking senators, senior lawmakers, people like Abdul Nengi. I've known Abdul Nengi since 2003 in the National Assembly. Abdul Nengi was suspended. But you cannot compare the conduct of both places. Ndumetu was suspended. So people will be suspended if they do something wrong.
Exactly.
Now, in this case, what I've always wanted, I don't even want the Senate to decide the matter between her and the Senate President. The best place to go to is the court of law. And as we speak today, Natasha has not filed any suit. I was telling one of my colleagues here that there's no case before a court of law. When people say, don't discuss it, don't talk about it, it's in court. It's no case, it's in court. Natasha confirmed this morning before filing. Even that one has not.
Even the issue of defamation?
No case has gone to court as we speak.
Really?
We are journalists, we live by facts.
True.
Our breathing in and breathing out is about facts. She came today, she said, no, I have not taken any matter related to the Senate President to court. So she said that to justify her filing the petition before the Senate committee. And that has happened. I do not agree to long suspension of any lawmaker. When it happened in Lagos, I fought against it. When Ndume was suspended for that long, I fought against it. I do not think it is right, no matter the excesses of Natasha that we have seen. Because I will say that I've never seen some of the sins that played out before our eyes since this whole matter began. I've never seen it since 1983. And if the Senate is not careful, its image will be thoroughly rubbished. And in that Senate, no matter what we feel about Akpabio and others, there are still decent people in that Senate. People of impeccable character who went in there genuinely to serve the people. So the image of the Senate must not be solid. I do not subscribe to long suspension. Because even the courts had ruled that you cannot suspend a lawmaker for long, because when you do that, his constituents or her constituents suffer. So you must always bear that in mind. That's why the idea of an indefinite suspension makes no sense. I do not also think that it is right to punish our aides. For God's sake, those aides have families. I know Natasha will find a way to pay those aides for the time that she's away. But there are lessons for her. You must understand the rules that guide the place where you operate. You cannot take steps without first knowing whether you are in conflict with the Constitution. And we saw that play out. And I said yesterday, you can sit anywhere in the Senate, but you cannot contribute anywhere. You can only contribute on where sitting where you were assigned to sit. So there are options for her. Now, I've seen the petition. My opinion about the petition, I'm not going to express it to you. I've seen the petition. In my view, Natasha will learn from this. Everyone gets to learn, whether you openly admit it or not. Everyone gets to learn from adversities, from when life happens to you, life in inverted commas. Now you learn an exemplary lesson. You may not admit it, but it is an inevitable fact of life that you will learn. On this issue, Natasha will learn. The Senate President too will learn. The Senate President, from what we see, also has to tone down on his unnecessary jokes. Because look, even a joke can be misunderstood. I'm not saying that Natasha misunderstood her, but from now on, he has to be very, very careful about his conduct, about the utterances, about how to deal with the women folk. Because people will point, Shebi Joy Nunez said the same thing the other day. Although a lot of those saying that do not also point to what happened with Reno. This is how we are. We are happy to mention Joy Nunez's case, but we are not happy to talk about Reno. In which case, Reno conclusively proved that she was lied against. We do not talk about that. I've said it. There's somebody on my wall who said, you are this. I said, if your neighbor's wife said something about you, would you be happy to just get sent to jail without the matter being investigated? I mean, so let's just put some of the people pontificating and behaving like Puritans on social media. They are worse sexual predators than some of our leaders. But again, this is who we are. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody says what he likes. But at the end of the day, these people in the National Assembly, they will learn.
I know.
The voice of that
dark
boy.
Man, dark man. Very dark man.
How dark is he? I said it's very dark. They will learn. They will learn.
And they don't play.
They're gonna learn.
But talk to me on this matter. You know, the Senate acted based on recommendation of the Committee on Ethics and Privileges. But do you consider this as fair enough?
Well, I know it's a very emotive issue, but we just have to understand what actually happened. Now, there are people that will think that Natasha is being persecuted without even actually knowing the reason she was suspended. she wasn't suspended because she accused Akpabio. She was suspended because she broke the rules and she would not accept correction. And she would not accept, even after she was told that she had broken the rule, she kept shouting. I think one of the problems that Natasha has is that she's not cool-headed.
Okay.
She may not have been satisfied with the movement of her seat, but she should know that that rule has been there since 1999.
And she won't be the last to be moved. 26
years after the rule had been put in the rule book, they can't bend the rule because of Natasha. That same day, the 4 senators were moved. It wasn't only Natasha.
True.
The laws, the rules says the Senate president can change seats. The sergeant at arms needs to inform the senator. We learned that Natasha came 30 minutes before plenary started that day. And she was already foaming. Means it actually means she had heard somewhat that her seat had been changed. Now, and again, she did not appear before the ethics committee. So what do you expect? What do you expect? The Senate is an institution. See, just because you want to please people, you want to appeal to emotion, you cannot disrespect an institution.
No.
That's the same thing that happens.
That's the reason I've not seen a senator who came out in support of
exactly.
All right,
not
gentlemen.
even the women, the 3 women. No one has come out to say,
all right, gentlemen. Right about now, we are going for a live event, talking about the flag off of the distribution of Ramadan package to orphans and needy to 23 local government areas in Sokoto State. And it's to be presided by His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Sokoto State, Ahmed Aliyu Sokoto. And it's going to be done at, it's happening live at the Government House in Sokoto. Remember, you can join us live on our other platforms. For journalists hangout, you can link up on our other platforms, okay? So let's continue with the conversation.
I was going to say something.
She described her suspension as injustice. What do you make of it?
Anybody can. It's our opinion. But you see, the way Natasha reacted to her suspension is the way many people react to court judgments. Even when the judgment is sound. Sometimes cases are thrown out because of procedural errors. Not even because of the substance of the case. You know, when you bring up, when you file an application before the court, you must follow certain processes.
The rules.
Let me just give you one example. Let me just use the issue of even to send a tenant out.
Okay.
For example, a tenant that pays yearly.
Okay.
You must give that tenant 6 months quick notice, not 5 months, 29 days. That is what the law says. If that person pays from August 6th to August 6th, that you must give that person that quick notice August 6th. It must not be later. If you give the person the quick notice August 7th, it is possible that the judge or the magistrate will throw out that case. And then you say, no judge. So their procedures matter.
Okay, BK, let's still talk about this issue, because some persons, I've heard all sort of opinions saying that the Senate president should have stepped down during the suspension proceedings. But what does the Senate rule say on this matter?
The people who are saying that, have they read the Senate rules? Have they? People are entitled to their opinion. To step down because an allegation that has not been proved. And when Bukola Saraki cited that, Bukola Saraki's case was a case of corruption. It's a much bigger case than this. And an agency of government established that, okay, you did this, you did that, okay, come and face the Code of Conduct Tribunal. That's a different case. So, if he was going to that place, someone else had to preside. He cannot preside from inside the dock. So when people compare things, they should compare things that we can see clearly that, yes, there's a parallel. There is no parallel.
It's like
even the matter of Joy Nune and Natasha, people compare those, but they are not comparable. Joy Nunez said that Akpabio took her to an hotel. Natasha didn't say that. People should go back and even read. Why is it so difficult for people to go back and read? What do you lose by reading? The journalist who is on reading will never be able to ask pertinent questions. Sure. I look at the way our profession is practiced these days. My blood boils. It's a massive shame. Because you see people asking questions that they should not ask. Questions from the position of ignorance, from a place of ignorance. Because that person has chosen not to read. When he's supposed to read, he's dwelling on social media. Social media is their permanent habitation. So how can you grow? Everything that you say is dictated by what you read on social media. Don't you have an opinion of your own?
Absolutely.
The people who post those stuff on social media, if they didn't post, will you find something to read? So what has happened? The Ethics and Privileges Committee are in a good position to look at the matter. In any case, I encourage you to have a look at the petition yourself. Even in your place, you can investigate it.
Exactly.
Given what I've read the petition, because there's really nothing, no big deal in it. I've read it. You are in position, even if you are not a lawyer, to make your conclusions. Okay. So the Senate President does not have to step down. Now, it has not reached that point. Maybe at the point of taking a decision on the findings, they can tell him to stand aside. But upon the making of a claim, you now say somebody should step aside. No, now that is not how it's done. They sit on it, and when it's time to announce their findings, they can tell him to step down. He will not preside over her. But just when the claim has been made, no petition had been filed. They've been telling him to step down since last week. At that time, no petition had been filed with the Ethics Committee. At that time, nobody has filed a case in court. Is that how it's done? That, okay, just because that claim has been made, then he must step aside. It's not done now. Let's be reasonable, for God's sake. It's not done.
All right, we need to go on this break. But as we round off on this conversation, because this matter, the image of the Senate is at stake here. And if you are to advise on how best this matter could have been handled, what will you suggest? I'll leave it at the tables of you two. Okay, we need to go on this quick break, and when we return, the conversation continues. Don't go anywhere. Still Journalist Hangout.
Must read their rule books. The rule book was not written by Akpabio. So people expecting Akpabio to bend the rules or sidetrack the rules is a waste of time. They didn't write the rules. So, and when they said that no senator shall sign a petition by himself, it is because they also assumed that it's possible that even a senator, on account of bringing that sort of petition, could be unduly favored.
Okay.
Yes, you represent people. If someone has wronged you, then let the people who are your constituents.
Okay.
Let them bring
Submit
it to
on
say,
your
look,
behalf.
this person is representing us, but this is how she's been treated. We do not like it. That's not a big deal. Let's get someone to sign. Your husband could sign, anybody could sign. What is the big deal?
Okay.
If it is written there and it's not complicated, get someone. Even you could sign for her.
Okay.
The people sit on radio saying that, oh, it is wrong to write that. Write your own laws.
All right,
write your own laws for your town union. Write your own laws.
Exactly. All right, Bo, you're rounding up this button.
Mine is the Senate should do the right thing.
Okay.
But even when the Senate does the right thing, there will still be people that will scream. You understand? It's just the way it is. But let the Senate be satisfied that it's done the right thing. It's keeping to the rules.
Okay.
I also agree with BKO concerning the way Akpabio talks. I'm not his fan. You know, I don't like the way he talks many times. But the truth is, let the Senate do the right thing.
Okay.
I expect that the Ethics Committee would they also invite Akpabio. I hope when they invite him, he's not going to feel too big. I don't expect to feel too big before. So when all of these are done, that you lay it out before the people. I think people who are rational, who are educated, who are enlightened, will be satisfied that the Senate has done the right thing.
Exactly.
That's it.
All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation. The headquarters of the